faff with technology too much. Thank you. Right, so tonight we're going to obviously keep moving because that's the theme of this 4 weeks, to keep us going, but we're also going to do a little bit on technique. So starting on our backs on the mat, looking straight up at the ceiling, and we're going to be working a little bit on our technique, making sure that we're working the right muscles at the right time and keeping ourselves nice and stable. All we need tonight, partway through, is the ball. Okay. So lying yourself down on the mat, looking straight up at the ceiling, thinking that the back of the neck is nice and long, the collarbones are open, shoulder blades are resting into the mat. And I'd just like you to take your fingertips, 3 fingers, and just rest them on your anterior hip bone. So the bony parts of your hip that stick out lower down your waist. Okay. And then whilst you're there, just roll the pelvis, so pelvic tilts. So just float those fingertips onto the bones. Thumbs will probably rest slightly towards your back. And we are just rolling the pelvis. So you're making a small arch. And then you're slowly, just gently pressing that lower back into the mat a little bit. Making a gentle arch. Don't force the arch. And gently pressing into the mat. And whilst you're doing this, try and slow your breathing down. If you had a busy day, boring day, stressful day, just try and slow the breathing down. Find something on the ceiling to look at and roll that pelvis a couple more times. Make sure your toes are spread. Your feet are starting to melt into the mat. And when you're ready, we're going to come up into that bridge. And I just want you to keep those fingertips on top of those hip bones. And then come back down again. Come back up again. So peel up the lower back, peel up each vertebra. Just make an effort to make sure those hip bones are nice and level. They're nice and flat across your hips here. Okay, and then peel back down. 4 more in your own time, making sure you're pressing down through your feet evenly, switching on your glutes, keeping the hip bones level. And roll back down. Last 3 more. Lifting up, just have a look down, glance down. I don't normally encourage you to glance down, but just look, make sure the hips are level. Look back up, breastbones melted. Come back down. And 2 more. So pelvis is level, thighs are nice and long, femurs are lengthened as best you can, glutes are engaged. Come back down. And on the 6th one, we're going to stay up. So come up into that bridge position. Make sure your shoulders are relaxed. Your thigh bones are nice and long. Now you're going to take the left leg and keeping those fingers, you're going to take the knee out to the side. Keep the fingers on those hip bones. The left knee is going to drop gently out to the side. And you're coming onto the outside border of the left foot. Okay. And then you're rolling the sole of the foot back onto the mat and bringing the knees back towards the center. Okay. So stay up in that position. Take that left knee out to the side, rolling onto the outside border of the left foot. And then you're bringing that knee back to the center. Now for the next 2, as you take the left knee out to the side, I'd like you to imagine you're pressing that left hip bone into those fingers. So press that left hip bone into those fingers. And you might feel your right side working a bit more. Keep pressing that hip bone into those left fingers as you come back. Good. 2 more. Press the left hip bone into those left fingers. This is going to help you keep your pelvis stable. And back. And last one. Press that left hip bone into those left fingers as you drop the knee out to the side. On the outside border of the left foot, press your hip bone back into the fingers as you come back to the center. Roll yourself down to the starting position. So come down, lower those hips down. And we're going to do the same on the right hand side. So coming back up into the bridge. Hip bones nice and high. As you take the right knee out to the side, you're going to press those right hip bone into those fingers and roll onto the outside border of the right foot. And then close the knee back to the center. That's 1. 5 more in your own time. Got the idea now? Keeping that contact of that hip bone into those fingers. 2. And back in. Out to the outside with the knee. 3. And back in. Coming back out again. 4. And back in. The whole time that left thigh is nice and long. And your right hip bone is pressing up into those fingers. 5. And back in. Well done. And curl yourself back down again. You might have felt more activity going on in the back of your glutes and hamstrings just by having that feedback through your fingers. We're going to go back up again. So come back up into your bridge. This time, I want you to take your left hand, stick it underneath your bottom, where your bottom meets the top of your hamstrings. Okay. You're going to imagine that your left fingers are still on the front of your hip bone. So press that hip bone up nice and high and take the left knee out to the side. And you should feel like your glutes are still working and your hamstrings are nice and tight. And then come back into the center again. Just do 3 more. Just check. Hamstrings, glutes are working. Imagine you're keeping that hip bone pressed to your fingers. 2. Out, drop out to the side again. 3. Back to the center. Switch your fingers on top for the last rep. Keep that pelvis nice and stable. Press that left hip into your fingers. And come back to the center. Same one to the right. Take your right hand. Fingertips are between where your glutes and your hamstrings meet. Drop the right knee out to the side. Make sure those muscles are working and switched on and they don't lose their tension. Draw the knee back in. Out to the side again. Draw that knee back in. 2 more. Out to the side. Draw that knee back in. Switch your fingers on top. Lengthen that left thigh bone. Drop the right side out. Press that right hip bone into your right fingers. And draw back. Well done. And roll yourself back down. Okay, let's just bring your left knee into your chest. Slide the right leg out away from you. Keep hold of that left knee into your chest. And I'm going to point the toes on that right leg. So point your toes. Float the leg up off the floor as far as you can. All the way up. Yep, now you're going to pull those toes down towards you as if you're pressing the heel up to the ceiling. And you're going to let that heel guide you back down to the floor. The whole time the left knee is in at your chest. Okay, point those toes through the right leg again. Nice and long through the right leg. Float the leg up as far as you can. Float up, up, up. Now pull the toes down towards you. Press that heel up to the ceiling. And the heel presses down as you take the leg away. Well done. 2 more. Point the right leg. Right toes. Float up, up, up. Push that right heel up to the ceiling. And then press with the heel as you come back down. Last one. Nice and long through that right leg. Really point the toes. Lengthen through the front of the right hip. Float the leg up. Pull the toes down towards you. Pressing through that heel as you take the leg back down to the floor. Good. Bring that right leg in to join the left. Double knee hug. And then hold on to the right side as the left leg goes away and slides out. And you're going to point those left toes. So making that side as long as you can. Melt your shoulder blades and float that left leg up with pointed toes to start. Then you pull the toes down towards you and press up to the ceiling, and then press the heel as you come back down. That's one. Point the toes, float up, press through the heel. 2. Point the toes, float up, press through the heel. 3. Point the toes, float up, press through the heel. 4. Good, well done. Place the foot back on the mat. Left leg, so back into our basic resting position. A little bit more work through the pelvis and the glutes before we move on. So coming back up, fingers on front of the hip bones again. Back up into your bridge. And we're going to straighten the right leg out, but keep it parallel with the left. Okay, so it's not high, it's not low. It's parallel. When you look down, the left and right thighs are parallel with each other. Don't let that right hip bone drop. So press that right hip bone into your right fingers. Bend the right knee, toe tap to the floor. Extend the right knee straight and back out. Keep that leg parallel with the left. Bend the knee, toe tap. Extend and straight back out. Bend the knee, toe tap. Extend and straight back out. Whole time pressing that right hip bone into those fingertips. 3, 5 more. 4, 5, should be parallel with the other leg. 6, lengthen when you put it out. 7, 8, well done. Press that right foot down onto the other side. Straighten the left leg out. Press your right and left fingertips into those hip bones. Bend the knee and tap. Straighten that leg back out parallel. Bend the knee and tap. Straighten out parallel. 3 and 4 and 5 and 6. Press that hip bone into your fingers. And 7 and 8. Once more, well done. Bend that knee and lower back down. Oh, good. Okay, just roll that pelvis out a little bit. Few pelvic tilts. Bring your knees and ankles together. And we just let the knees fall to one side. So heels close to your bottom, hands slightly out to the side, and take the knees off to your left hand side to start with. Get that rotation through your lower back. Stay gazing straight up at the ceiling and keep your right hand down on the floor. Then come back through the center, over to the right hand side. Keep the heels stacked and the knees stacked. Gaze up at the ceiling. Well done. And back to the center. If you've got the ball near you, pop the ball between your knees. Double tabletop position. Focus this time is the space between your tummy button and your pubic bone. All right. I want you to rest one hand onto that space. Spread your fingers, rest really gently. And we want trying not to get that tummy to pop up. We don't want us ballooning or doming. So we're only going to go as far as you can, keeping that connection between pubic bone and tummy button. Okay, so we're going to do rotation. So gently squeeze the ball, draw pubic bone to tummy button, and take the knees off to your left hand side, off to about 1 o'clock. Breathing out, then inhale and come back to the center. Repeat that in tabletop, gentle squeeze through the ball. Connect pubic bone to tummy button Exhale. Off to 1 o'clock. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale. Keep that gentle squeeze on the ball. Inhale, back to the center. Exhale again. Off to the side, squeeze with the ball. Inhale, back to the center. 3 more. Exhale off. Focus on not letting that tummy rise up under your hand. And back to the center. 2 more. Lower the shoulders from the ears. Don't let the tension build up. And back. And last one. Off to the side. And back to the center. Keep the legs in tabletop if you can. Switch hands. We're going off to the right. And back to the center. Sorry, I think I might have confused you with the clocks. This time you're going to be going to about 1 o'clock. Last time it was 11 o'clock. I'm getting my lefts and rights muddled. And back to the center. Good. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Gentle squeeze on the ball. Inhale. Good. Exhale. Inhale. And last one. Exhale. Inhale. Well done. And then take the ball away. Just pop it down by your side. And just see if you can keep that control and keep the knees gently together and take the knees side to side in tabletop without bulging through your tummy. So don't go too far, especially not if you've got a sore back at the moment. Two more to each side. Last one. And last one to the other side. Well done. One leg at a time down. Well done. And we're going to do a few roll-ups before we come up into sitting and go into 4-point. So if you can do a roll-up with your legs straight, do a roll-up with your legs straight. They need to be bent and curl yourself up that way, then that's fine too. So remember, with your roll-up, arms over your head, draw the backs of your hamstrings, back of your knee, back of your calves, back of your heels, draw that pubic bone to your tummy button, rise up nice and tall. Think of that back at the end and length through the hamstrings. And then as you roll back down again, onto that tailbone, rounding through your back, really connect pubic bone to tummy button. And coming back down. Okay. Back up again. I'm going to do a walk up for those of you that are walking up. Bring the arms forwards. Keep moving the arms forwards. Lift your breastbone. Take the back of the thighs with your hands. Draw that pubic bone into your tummy button. And curl yourself up. And as you walk the hands back down the back of the thighs, you can curl yourself back down again and over your head. Okay, make the next one the last one. Coming up, press down through the back of the heels, back of the calves, pubic bone into tummy button, and sit up nice and tall. Okay, well done everyone. And we're going to come over onto 4-point. And then just go through cat-cow to start with. So wrists under shoulders, hands spread, knees under hips, weight going through your shins rather than your kneecaps, feet relaxed if you can, and just think about gentle cat-cow stretch into child's pose and back into child's pose. Well done. Come forwards into cat again, down into cow, and back into child's pose. Well done. If you feel ready, we're going to tuck our toes under. We're not coming up into stand, we're coming back down. Tuck our toes under, press down through the toes, lift your hips, pull yourself back into a pike, press down through those heels. Well done. If it feels like you can, if it feels good for you, come up onto your tiptoes and then press down through your heels and make your hips nice and high. And try again if you can. Lift those heels, press up onto your tiptoes. Well done. And then press down through the heels. Good. Take a breath in there. As you exhale, draw your pubic bone to your tummy button, bend the knees, and drop yourself down into 4-point. Okay, so a bit more technique through extension here in 4 points. So make sure those wrists are under shoulders, fingers are spread. Slide out with your left leg. Left leg's going to slide all the way out behind you. Point those toes. Float up to hip height. Yep. Now you're going to pull those toes towards your shin. So press the heel out behind you. And then take the toes down to the floor. Point the toes again and lengthen. Lift up. Pull the toes. So you're pressing that heel away from you. Toes are being pulled as if they're coming up to touch your shin. You lower back down again. Point the toes. Lift up. Good. Press through that heel, nice and long. Lower back down. Point the toes. Lift up. Press through that heel and pull the toes as if they're coming up to touch your shin. And lower down. One more. Point the toes away from you. Lift the leg up. Pull the toes towards your shin. Press away from the heel. And drop down. Now you can see where we're going with this. You're either going to continue doing that, or press the right foot back as well and come into press up plank position. And we're going to complete the next set in press up plank position, okay? Or you can stay in 4-point that we were just in. Technique is really important, stays the same. Point the toes away, lift the leg, press through that heel, pull the toes towards you, lower the foot back down. Okay. Point the toes, float the leg up, pull those toes up towards your shin, press the heel away, raise the leg back down. 3 more. Point the toes, float the leg up, pull those toes up towards your shin, press the heel away, back to the mat. Last 2. Point, float, pull, lower. Point, float, pull, lower. Well done. Bend that one leg, bend the second. Okay, onto the other side. So think about that technique. So point those toes away, lengthen that leg. Leg floats up nice and long. Pull the toes down, press the heel away. Take the leg back down to the mat. Point your toes, float up, press the heel away from you. Take it back down to the mat. Point your toes, float up, press the heel away, back down. Check those shoulders are not rising up to your ears. Point, float up, draw those shoulder blades down that chest wall. Point, float, pull down with the toes, press away with the heel, and float the leg down. 1 more in this position before we go into full plank, or just keep doing your reps in this position. and down. So those toes are now in contact with the mat. Heels pressed away. Press away with the left leg. Press up plank position. Technique stays the same. So point those toes on the right side. Float the leg. Pull the toes. Lower down. Good. Keep that pubic bone, tummy button connection. Point. Float up. Press with the heel. Go back down. Point. Float. Press away through that heel. And back down. If you need to drop down, just do the rest of your reps further down. Pull and down. Last two. Drop the shoulders from the ears. And last one. Point, float up. Pull those toes in, lower back down. Drop the knee, drop the leg. Oh, well done. Come back. I think I'm getting less and less fit as the days go by. Sorry. Huffing and puffing down the microphone. Right, what are we coming up to next? Just relax those wrists. Okay, next part. Opposite, stand sideways this way. Opposite shoulder taps. We're going to start in 4-point and progress if you want to. If this is a bit tricky, just slide one leg out behind you. Yep, and just keep those toes on the mat and just really focus on your technique and stability through that pelvis. Okay? Right, those of you joining me, we're going to go into hover first of all. So tuck the toes under, lift the hips, hover those knees off the mat. Think about that pelvis being straight at the start. It's going to stay as straight as we can. Lift off the left hand, tap the right shoulder, place back down. Lift off the right, tap the left, place it back down. One more each side. 1, 2, and come back down. Really want to minimize rocking from side to side as much as possible. So we're just going to do 4 at a time. Real quality. Might be because I'm knackered. Come up, lift those knees and hover. Okay, tap the opposite shoulder, tap back down. Tap the opposite shoulder, tap back down. Keep that gaze straight down at the mat. Really work through your core. Try not to tilt. And back down. We've got one more set to do. Remember, the alternative is just to have one leg out behind you with toes down and tap the opposite shoulder. Okay? Right, back up again, toes curled under. Lift up to hover. Tap the opposite shoulder and back down. Tap the opposite shoulder and back down. 2 more. Tap the opposite and down. Tap the opposite and down. Lower the knees. Circle those wrists a bit. We're going into full press up plank for the last bit. 5 or 6 opposite toe taps, and then we're changing position. Or staying doing exactly what you are doing at the moment. So nice and long through the right leg. Nice and long through the left. Make sure you're long through the neck. Shoulders are down from the ears. When you're ready, draw pubic bone to tummy button. Tap the opposite shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Press through those toes. 9, 10. If you've got a couple more, do a couple more. 11, 12. Keep going if you want to. I'm going to drop down. Good, well done. And just relax. Well done, Natalie. Keep going. All right, relax those shoulders. We're going to pike up into standing. So one last little bit, or just come up into standing. From hover, press down through those heels. Work your hands back. That's it. And come up into standing. I'm just going to raise my camera with standard Press out dinosaur pop-up books. Right. Okay, let's get the ball. Keep ourselves moving, keep those wrists moving. Into squat. Ball goes round behind us as we squat. So down into squat as we come up, ball comes behind. Press the hips forwards. Down into your squat. Press the hips forwards. Down into your squat. Press the hips forwards. Good. Keep going. Let's do 6 more this way, and then we'll turn the ball to the other way. And change direction. Good. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, onto single leg, onto your right leg. Balance on your right leg. Sorry, I'm going to chop my head off. We're going to take the ball over our head, back down behind our back, back over our head, past the ball, back down behind your back. When you've got your balance here, try and bring in a heel raise. As the ball comes down, lift that heel. Whoa. Press the heel back down, come back up. As the ball comes down, heel raise and back down. You can probably go on the way up as well, actually. And back down. Up. Down. Up. Yeah, you can get 2 heel raises in per round of the ball. Let's do 2 more circles of the ball. So 4 more heel raises. 2, 3, 4. Well done. Change onto the left leg. Work the ball up and down first of all. Keep going with that for a second. I'm just going to move the camera back. And same again, when you're nice and balanced, heel raise up as you go up, heel press down, heel raise as it goes behind you, heel press down, heel raise up and down, heel raise and down. Really find something to focus on and really think about going straight up and straight down like a piece of string, coming through the top of your head, the crown of your head, taking you up to the ceiling and coming back down. That piece of string's coming up and taking you back down. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Well done. Hopefully that's warming your calves up. Right, now we're going to come back. Do you remember the first week? We've got quite a lot of runners in the group, and I think quite a few of you quite enjoyed this. So this is really good if you're a runner, really good for stability anyway. So we're going to come into, we've warmed up our balance, so we've just done balance, we've just done calves. We're going to come into, we've done quads. Come onto your left leg. Okay. Single leg balance on the left leg. Right leg comes straight out behind us. It's going to come forwards on that. So you can see. The left knee's soft. Think of that toe extension we've worked on earlier. You're going to open out the front of that hip. Nice and long through the right leg. Ball straight down, back of the neck's long. And you pass that ball behind your back and keep that balance. Okay, so everything we've worked on tonight, length through that right leg, stability through the left leg. Try and get 10 done. Stare straight down at the floor. Keep the left knee soft. I'm just going to look at the screen for a second, so keep going. Down at the floor. See how everyone's getting on. See if you can lift that back leg up a little bit higher. That's it. Float that leg up. Okay, from here, hold that ball, right? Listen to what I'm staying exactly the same position. Hold the ball down in front of you. So arms are relaxed down, ball is just floating off the floor. From here, we're going to open the arms up so they're like wings of an aeroplane. Okay, as you bring the arms back together, you're going to bring that right knee forwards and touch the ball. Then you're going to go pass it into the opposite hand, come back down, open up like wings of an aeroplane. So you're really long and open through your body. Then you're going to bring that right knee forwards. Tap that ball like you would drive forwards with a run. Pass it to the opposite hand. Open up the chest, open up your arms like wings of an aeroplane. Got that? So aeroplane. Whoa. Forwards, bring the knee to the ball. Open up. Forwards, like knee to the ball. Press that heel back like we have been doing in lots of the exercises tonight. Bring the knee forwards. Press that heel back. Think about what we've been doing. Open back up. 2 more. Knee to the ball. Press the heel back. Well done. Nice and long. Knee up and place that leg down. Okay, left leg should have been really working through the back of the hamstring calf. Okay, onto the other side. So for you guys, onto your right leg. So start by popping out those left toes out behind you, then tipping forwards with the ball down in front. Nice and long, and pass that ball behind you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Think about that pelvis. 'Should we say 3 more? 1, 2, 3. Okay, get your balance. Get that left leg nice and high behind you. Ball is down in front. When you're ready, open the arms so you're into that aeroplane position. Then as the arms come down, you're going to bring that left knee forwards. Bring the knee up to the ball. Take the ball into the opposite hand. Nice and slowly down, wide like an aeroplane. Forwards. Good. Keep going. Just going to look at the screen. Well done. Tip yourself forwards. Extend, extend. Think of that heel extension we've been doing in those other positions. Well done. That looks excellent. Okay, make the next 2 the last 2. Okay, float that left toe down behind you. Good, tap onto the floor. You can drop the ball. And down with that left knee towards the mat. Nice split squat position. Good. And stretching through the front of your left hip. So slide the right knee over the toes. Right knee's coming over the toes. Arms are coming up above us. Yep. And you're taking your left side over to the right. Think about tucking in your tailbone. Good. And come back. Just relax. Forwards again. If you need a cushion or a rolled towel or something underneath your knee, just pop it under, over to that side. Tuck that tailbone in. Open out through the front of that hip. And back again. Well done. Change legs. If you need to grab a cushion, just grab one to go under the knee. Bring the left knee up in front. And you're going to take your left knee over your left toes, leaving the right knee behind, stretching through the front of the right hip. Arms are coming up. And you're reaching over to the left-hand side. And just relax through the hip. And once more. Forwards again. Reaching up, tucking that tailbone in, so lengthening through the lower part of your back. Leaning over to the left-hand side. Well done. And back. Then keep that left leg out to the side. Yep, straight out to the side on the left leg. Right hand on hip. Reaching over to your right-hand side. Still thinking about that core. Still thinking about your glutes. When you're ready, exhale, come back to the center. And then this time pop over to the other side. And if you're a bit tight through your adductors, you might feel that through your adductors. You might feel it through the side. Okay, come back to the center. Switch knees. Right leg out to the side, directly out to the side. Right arm floats up, left hand floats down your side. Reaching over through that side. Really nice and long, tuck your tailbone in. Bring your pubic bone to your tummy button. And back. And then float that right arm down. Bring the left arm up. So gently press down with your right hand into that thigh. Gives you a bit of an anchor point if you're tight through your groin and through that side. Well done. And then we're just going to spin round on your knees. 4-point, tuck the toes under. Lift those knees to hover. And press the right heel down to your mat. Keep the hips nice and high. Leave the left knee bent. When you're ready, change. So press the left knee, the left heel, sorry, down to the mat. Keep the right knee bent. And then we'll try something we haven't tried probably since last summer. Pressing down through that right foot. Take the left leg out behind you and see if you can lift up through there. You might want to cup up onto your right toes if you want to. lots and lots of length. Bring that foot down towards the mat. Stay on your toes. Press that heel down. Bend the knee. Allow the leg to float up. Floating up as best you can. And keep it bent if you need to, it's fine. Float back down. Onto your tiptoes. Press down through the heels. Sink your shoulders onto your tiptoes. Press down through the heels. One last time. Onto your tiptoes. Press down through the heels. And start to walk your hands back. See if you can keep your knees straight for as long as you can. Bring yourself to hang. Ragdoll position. And just slow that breathing down. If I'm not the only one that's feeling a bit out of breath, slow your breathing down. And when you're ready, start to curl up. Well done. And just roll your shoulders to finish. Reduce that tension in there. Well done. Another session done. I hope you felt the technical aspects of that maybe.